This is my friend Tyrus when we first met him. He had been homeless for over 15 years and had no communication with his family in the last 4. And this is Tyrus 6 hours later. We were able to provide him with a clean wardrobe. We reunited him with his mother, and after working on his resume, he found a job that same day. This comes from a program my friends and I started. We call ourselves 20 for 20 because the initial plan was for each of us to pitch in $20 to help one person once a month until we had helped 20 people. But in less than a year, we've been able to triple that number. The reason I'm sharing this with you is because for the majority of us, stories like that of Tyrus make us really happy. And I believe it's because we all have an innate desire to be patrons for those in need and to better the world around us. Basically, we all want to change the world. But the problem is that very few of us actually act on this need. Why? Well, we get so caught up in our everyday lives or so tunnel visioned in our career paths that we think we don't have the time. Or we see ourselves as too small and the problem too big, so we don't act. Well, my goal today is to rekindle that intrinsic need to change the world by showing you that it's actually very easy to do. And the beauty of it is that you don't have to quit your job, move across the world, you don't even have to switch your major. The only thing you have to do to change the world is to make it a lifestyle. Now, what do I mean by that? The best way to explain it is by comparing it to those men and women that believe fitness is a lifestyle. No matter how much they have on their plate, no matter how much work they have to do, they always manage to go work out. They still have careers and they're still chasing other dreams. But fitness means so much to them that they always find a way to fit it in. Without any effort, they're constantly thinking about the next gym session or on how to improve on the last. And what happens to these people? Well, after some time, they get really fit, right? Now imagine what society would look like if we could apply that same mentality to changing the world. So let's dive right into it. I have found that there are 4 key ingredients to make changing the world a lifestyle. And the reason I say ingredients is because you don't necessarily need to go from part A to part A or to part B. As long as the end goal is the same, it's up to you where you start. The first ingredient is to find your inspiration. The thing that makes your heart break or your heart melt. And this is actually very easy to do. So I want you all to take a moment and ask yourselves this question. If you could change one thing in the world with guaranteed success, what would that change be? Would it be with the 1.5 million homeless in America? Would it be for social reform? Or what about restoring the environment? Whatever it is that moves you, hone in on it. The second ingredient is to create a hero's mindset. This was explained to me by an Atlanta police officer, and he put it as, a hero is someone that makes the conscious decision before anything has happened to be the person to stand up when others stand back, to speak out in sight of injustice when nobody else will, and to be unafraid to go against the grain if it means helping others. Now, this task may seem daunting. A lot of us are shy or feel like we can't be the ones to make the first move. I know I was. But the best way to build that confidence is through education. Learn about possible solutions. Learn about what is happening around you. And learn how you can best help. It takes a little bit of effort, but if you dedicate yourself to being a person of action, then when your time comes, you'll be ready. And if you ever start to doubt, just remember every hero's motto. If not me, then who? If not now, then when? The third ingredient is to make it social. And this is essential to making it a lifestyle. Because like the fitness example, whenever you see that person at the gym, you always see them with a workout buddy. That's because that person is there to push them on their last rep, to remind them why they're doing what they're doing when they don't quite see the results, and to keep them accountable when they start to lose motivation. This kind of support directly relates to the topic at hand, because you will have doubts, and things won't always go your way. But they're your backbone, and they keep you moving. Also, it's a lot of fun to be making a difference, but it's a lot more fun to be doing it with others, to be sharing those memories and experiences that will follow you for the rest of your life. Now, I don't want to sugarcoat anything. A lot of people don't like change. They much rather live comfortably in a bad situation than to be the person to change it. That being said, some people won't see it. Some people won't support you, and that's fine. When I first had the idea of going out and helping others, I asked all my friends. And a lot of my closest ones told me no, that it was dumb, or that they much rather do something else with their weekend. So the first time we went out, it was only 3 of us, my girlfriend Lauren, my friend Marco, and me. We still went ahead with it because we knew it was something much bigger than us. And even if others didn't see it, we saw it. So on your way to changing the world, don't be discouraged if someone tells you no. Just find a group that says yes and take the hill with them. The last ingredient, and if there's anything you take from this talk, is to act now, act small, and act with love. Don't let your ideas marinate, because more likely than not, the longer you wait to act, the more excuses will pile up. You'll start to lose motivation, and eventually it won't happen. Instead, take action within the first 2 weeks of your idea. And don't worry about starting small. You can't expect to change the world in one day, but what you can do is change the world of one person, or a family, or do something locally. If you've ever seen the movie Pay It Forward, we're basically just copying their plot. The idea is that if you help one person, you're also helping their family and anyone that's ever cared about them. Then eventually, hopefully, that person will help another person, and the cycle will continue. And act with love. I know it sounds corny, but it's really all it boils down to. Just giving a damn and giving your all without expecting anything in return. Once you act, it's done. You become hooked. It becomes engraved into your everyday life. You start to see money as how much you can donate rather than how much you can spend. Your time is how much you can volunteer rather than how much Netflix you can binge. The first time we went out, I was extremely nervous. We had no idea what we were doing. We just knew we had to do it. We met a man named Kwame who was really hungry, so we took him to get a bite to eat. And there we explained that we wanted to help him with whatever he needed. So we went to Walmart, and he grabbed one of those carts and he took off, just started piling everything inside. It was amazing. It was truly, truly amazing. He hadn't experienced someone genuinely caring for him in a very long time. And the expression of gratitude was written all over his smile. When we were done and we were taking him back to his shelter, he stopped and he said that he didn't understand why him. Why a bunch of strangers would go out of their way for him. But that's exactly what he needed in that time of his life. What we didn't know was that that same week, he was headed to see his son that he hadn't seen in a very long time. And he was just grateful to have something to wear that wasn't ripped or smelled bad. And that's all it took to keep us going back. What I really want to emphasize is that we're just college students. We're still overwhelmed by school. We still hang out on the weekends, and we're still chasing our dreams. We want to become doctors, engineers. Some of us want to go into the military. I want to be a naval aviator. Goals very different from what we're doing with 20 for 20, but it's become a part of us. Taking a day away from studying, hanging out, or partying doesn't have a drastic impact on our college experience. Investing some money that we would have otherwise used to go bowling or out to eat doesn't break the bank, but it has the vast potential of having life-altering effects on someone else. And compared to the homework I have to turn in every week, it's honestly the easiest thing I do all month. It's not hard. If we can do it as a bunch of average college students, then I have no doubt all of you can as well. So I leave you with this. In a recent interview, Tim Tebow was asked how he manages his sports with his charity work. And he said that at the end of the day, he doesn't want to be known as a football player or a baseball player, but rather someone that was known for lending a helping hand to those in need. Winston Churchill once said, "We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give." What will your legacy be? And more importantly, how will you change the world in the next 2 weeks? Thank you.